1940 AD. France has fallen. Hitler has conquered Europe. Britain is on the verge of invasion. In the words of Bonnie Tyler, we're holding out for a hero. And unlike that song, originally recorded for the film Footloose starring Kevin Bacon, Britain got its hero. Winston Churchill. The first question is who or what is Churchill? The answer is who. He was born like most people and went to school. But unlike most people, he was also Prime Minister in black and white times, which was not a moment too soon because of a war. The war that would make him famous, War II. War II was like War I, but easier to understand because the baddie was better. Adolf Hitler rather than mud. Imagine what it was like in the war room on May the something, 1940. With Hitler's invasion of France a complete success, the debate was furious. Should Britain make peace or fight on alone? Although in this reconstruction, no one's arguing out loud because we can't afford equity rates. Leading the peacemongers was Lord Halifax. No one knows what he looks like, so we can have anyone play him and spend the money on a half-decent Churchill who wanted to keep on fighting. Some of Churchill's words are immortal. If the British Empire and its Commonwealth lasts for 1,000 years, men will still say this was their finest hour. And never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. If he'd been alive today, just imagine how good his tweets would have been. I've never met Churchill, so the best way to understand him is to ask someone else who never met him. Hello, who are you?
My name is Dr. Peter Catterall. I'm Reader in History at the University of Westminster.
Why do we say Churchill won the war when we know he didn't have a proper go at it himself, did he?
What, you mean in terms of fighting?
Yeah. He just sat underground in a hole, didn't he, smoking, telling people what to do, like a minicab operator.
Well, I suppose in some ways it's quite a good analogy, because unless you've got someone directing the fleet, the soldiers, the tanks, etc., then similarly it's not going to work.
Yeah. Churchill was sort of out of shape, wasn't he? Like, he was quite overweight and he drank and smoked a lot. He couldn't even climb a ladder, could he? How good a role model do you think he was, really?
I think he would find it difficult.
I mean, if you don't look at the fact that he won the war.
And indeed, before the war came along, he'd been out of office for 10 years. So, politically, he was in the wilderness.
What was he doing in the wilderness?
It's a metaphor. He was not in the government, he was on the Conservative backbenches.
Why did they have the backbenches in the wilderness?
The wilderness is a reference to the fact that he's not in office.
How did Winston Churchill come to invent Tipp-Ex?
Well, he didn't.
It's amazing to imagine that Churchill literally single-handedly stopped Germany from winning War II with his funny voice and his big cigar. And then one day, he just vanished. Nobody knows where he went. Next week on Moments of Wonder, I'll be finding out what's the heaviest month of the year.